In this video, we will model something a little more organic. We will model an apple. So to do that, we will use proportional editing and we will use image reference too. So let's first select everything into our scene and remove everything. I will just enable here the shortcuts for you, and we will have a look into the source files, and I did just prepare you a reference image, just an apple, simple. Okay, so this image reference, I would like to put it, I would like to show you how it works. To manage it in Blender, you have two solutions: to use it into the 3D view or to use it into the 3D view, into the 2D view. So let's go into the 3D view first. Very simple, you just click and drag and you have your image. Isn't that cool? So you just after select this object as an object. As you did see, so when I'm in free view like this, it gives the object here orientation depending on this view. What you can do to have a good orientation of this object, you just select the object, you just make an Alt-R, okay, and an RG, like this you are sure it's in the middle, and then we X 90 degrees, you can just put your object exactly where you want. So this object, it's like an empty, okay, so you can move it into your scene, you can make it enable, but it has a little more options here. And let's say I do a GY like this, it will not disturb me into the middle of my scene here. So with GY like that, and I will just go into orthographic view there. Okay, and now we will go into front view and we will manage a little the options that we have here. So first of all, there is the global size of the object, okay? There is the possibility to use the alpha and to make the transparency if you don't want this object to be disturbing too much in the 3D view. So let's say 0.4 is a good value to work. Here you have the possibility to manage an offset there if you want to put where your image in the center. Let's say me, I would like something like that. Okay, good. So now we have our image well in place, and maybe we would like just something that is important too. I like me to go there and enable this one, and to be sure that I cannot select my object when it's here, and I cannot make mistake by select my object by mistake and move it. I want really to keep it here during all the modeling process. So I just can disable that. And like this, I cannot select my object anymore and it will not move by mistake. So now our object is here. We can enable it from here or not now. And that's it. To add a reference image into the 3D view, it's like this, it works. For the next one, you have the possibility, so it can be there, like for example, let's do a split here. It can be there, for example, and here we will go into image editor and we will just search into the list the reference image I did over already open, and if it's not opened already, you can just click and drag your image here and it will work too. Okay, so if you are there and you didn't open the other one, let's say, you just click and drag and it will give you the image here. So it's a good reference point to have, just in case if you some people they like to work only with this, some people they like to work only with this. Let's say for this one we will work with both. Good. So now we have everything to work with, and we will do this modeling with the UV sphere. So this UV sphere, I will go into front view and into edit mode and into transparency mode with wireframe with Z. I can just scale my object to be as much as possible as a reference image. Then we will use the proportional editing. So we will use a lot the proportional editing into this tutorial because it will be very helpful. So let's take this loop here, and with the proportional editing on, we will just scale our object like this. You can see that it will create this kind of shape now, and with GZ2 we'll put it a little higher. So we try to follow this part, the right part of the apple for now, and after we will manage all the apple, the global shape. But for now, let's manage only this part here, and we will do the same with maybe that one here. Okay, so maybe scale it a little and put it down to, okay, and scale it again. Good, just to have the beginning of the modeling there. Then I would like to have this kind of hole that comes on the top of my apple, so I will take here this one. Okay, and now I will take a sharp proportional editing. Good, and into wireframe mode still, I will just do a GZ2. Okay, and like this I will have this kind of curvy shape that goes inside like that. So let's have a look in solid view. We have something a little more like an apple already. Good. So let's manage a little this part, and I would like to make the beginning of the twig here. So for this we will need a face there. Where is this point here? And for now we don't have any face. So what I will do, I will just make a Ctrl-R to put another loop here, and then I will select this other loop there, and I will go in front view into wireframe mode, and with GZ, without the proportional editing, with GZ and S, I will have a face now. Okay, so still the center point, but the face is here, and my faces will be here and ready to make an extrusion for that. But for now you can see that it's not totally flat, and I would like something totally flat. So this is a little trick, a modeling trick. If you make a SZ 0, it will make everything flat, whatever the selection you have. Okay, so it can be very handy too, this one. SZ0. So now I will make an extrude, NG and R, and an extrude again, NG and R, and S, maybe a little, okay, and an extrude again, NG, just to follow the geometry like that. We are in front view, we don't move from the front view for now, and an extrude again, and S, NG a little, maybe, and an extrude again, a rotation, maybe a little, a scale. Good. And for the top, we will not manage it precisely, but let's say we'll do something like that. A last extrusion like this, okay? Then an ES. Good. Then select the loop here with Alt left click and Ctrl B to make a bevel. And just to have something smooth. Good. And now we have a basic shape how we would like to have. Good. Maybe here this has to be a little more curved, so I will take this loop there. So to not have too much this sharp angle here, with Ctrl B we will just manage that, and it will create something smoother. Okay, and maybe the same for that one. Good. So now we have our global shape for here. Let's say we could, for example, maybe add a few loops to help to have something smoother there too. With Ctrl B we can manage that easily. Okay, and maybe a little Ctrl-R there to can scale it like so. Okay. Good, so now we have our basic shape of the top of our apple. So now I will come back here on the bottom and I will make the same system more or less. So I will go into wireframe there, and with GZ, with the proportional editing like this, I can make this kind of shape. Good. And the same system, I will go into solid view, add a loop on that page, on that side here, and in front view again, without proportional editing, with wireframe, I will just make a GZS. Good. And now I will have something a little better. Maybe this part, the global size of this part with proportional editing smooth, I can scale it down a little, okay, to have this kind of shape. Nice. So let's say we did finish to manage this. Maybe you can just, because this part will be hidden if you put it on the ground, so it's not really interesting. After, if you want to model it and to come back to it, you can maybe here, and we can just add a little here, a little loop there, and scale it down. Just make a Control B here and a Control B there again, and you will have something smoother already. And maybe the same for that one. Could be more like that. Good. So now we have the basic shape that we want. And this one, maybe GZ a little. Okay, good. So we have the basic shape of an apple now. But an apple is never totally circular like this and with a regular shape like that. So it has some little hills, let's say. So to manage that a little better, first of all, we will use the reference image and to match the global shape of it. So we will go into wireframe view and into edit mode, and we will go with here the proportional editing, and with G we will select some dots there and have just like that. Maybe we can select that one here over there and move it up to match the shape like that. Okay, and the same from here, maybe with this one here. So you will have a little more the shape of this apple that comes and starts to be a little more organic like this. To make it even more organic, for example, here it will be never totally straight from the side view, okay, like it is, or from the top view. Here it's totally straight, so it has to be a little curvy. So just with this enable and with a little influence, you can make it a little more curvy as you want. Okay, as you can see here, so it will just give a little more interesting shape. Okay, the same after, if you want to add little hills there or there, depending on what you want. And especially here on the bottom, it's usually with more curvy shapes like that. So you will select maybe one and go with GZ for that, and not a big influence, and GZ again with another. Okay, so just to have something, and GZ again, and GZ again. Okay, and now you will have a basic shape of an apple. Good. Now we have this, we can just go into, after each modeling, we will rename the object, so it will be an apple. And this object into edit mode, we will make the two rules. So we will make Control V, or if you don't want to make Control V, you go into the vertex mode here and you just right click and you go into merge vertices by distance. Okay, for me I have 0 vertices removed, so you will see if you made mistakes, you will maybe have. and and Control N and Shift N, sorry, to recalculate the normals outside. And now we did respect the rules of all the modelings. We did rename it, recalculate the normals, recalculate and remove the doubles. We can add a modifier subdivision surface here, maybe put it at 2 in the viewport and make a right click shade smooth, and now we have a perfect apple. Okay, so that's it for this modeling. Maybe just this one, I found it a little too thin, so just with Alt S, like that, yeah, it will be already a little better. Good. So that's it for this modeling exercise. This one was the apple. Into the next video, we will have a look on how to model a bottle of shampoo.